Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. We have a few boxes of machines for repair. 2 whole boxes of tools sent in, and they've been sitting here about a month or two. I really need to get on with them. So we're going to have a look at these today and see what we can do. See what can and can't be fixed. And there's a real mixture of stuff on this. Mainly drills down here, SDS and precision drills, and an SDS Makita as well. Recip saws, mixing drills, old Ryobis, Milwaukee's, Makita saw. A real oddball mix this. Let's see what all in these 2 boxes we can actually fix up. Now, it's nice to be getting detailed notes as well. A list of every tool and why it was sent in. But when you see most of them saying sparking, that's not a good start. We'll start with one of the older ones, an old Hitachi drill. Right, first up we have an old Hitachi. This is probably a DV20, DP or DR2. That's an old machine. It's probably 2003, maybe 2013. Not wrong where. Consult the notes. Chuck. There's an old Rome chuck on it. Probably came as standard in this old drill actually. He says it's difficult to open. He's a bit locked in it. Seems to be working. Maybe he wants another keyless chuck fitted. Some people just don't like these because you have to put a lot of force to get them to clamp right. And they're not a keyless, so people don't like this wee plastic insert. Once you have it tight, slide this back to actually lock it in place. And she's gone anyway because that steel ball is actually loose. Right, I'm gonna have to change that then. No center screw in this. She's just torqued on. So we have to clamp this spindle here and actually torque this off. The way I normally do this, these are actually the bars from the bearing press. These are actually, they're not off the bearing press at all. These are actually a sash clamp. So a big long timber sash clamp. These are actually together. A couple of sections on them. These are just cut down to about a 6 or 8 inch length. They're a good hard steel plate. They're handy for the actual bearing press because you can bear down on them without them bending. But they're good for this too. The spindle's got 2 flats on it. Put these either side of the flats. Like that. And then clamp this in the vise. And that'll hold the spindle in place. You can put your Allen key up here then. And actually just torque off your chuck. So you just want it set up like that. 2 rails in the vise, the spindle clamped in between, and a big Allen key on top then. Now this set up because the spindle is locked, you shouldn't even need to hit this with a hammer. You should be able to just do this by hand. Well, of course it doesn't work if the chuck is broken. Then steel balls dropping out. The chuck's gone. So we are going to have to use the hammer after all. A punch and a hammer and just hit this here spindle hole here. See if you can knock the chuck off. bit more. There we go. One chuck. And I only want a standard keyless chuck fitted. So I'll just go for one of these cheaper black ones. If you don't have an actual spindle hole, you can use a bit of Loctite, but there is actually a screw hole here. So we'll put a left hand thread on to hold this chuck on. Her. One new chuck. That was a handy one to start off with. Let's hope the rest are as simple as that. Next up, it's an old Hitachi. This is a DH24 PC3 Hitachi SDS drill. Indeed. Consult the sheets. Brushes and holder needed. An issue with the chuck. Right. We'll see what's going on with the motor first. If it's burnt out, it's not going to be worth fixing anyway. Here are the brushes on the holder. So they actually just look like they were gummed up. That's rusted on. If that's only the problem, it might be worth fixing. Right, armature's not bad looking. Leads are still there. All I would need 2 holders and a set of brushes for that. It says it's not holding the butt either. We'll just make sure there isn't a problem there, because she looks like she has done a lot of work, and she's from 2008. Yeah, not worth fixing. If you look down inside that tool holder, see the way you can see a perfect circle inside. That's not good. You actually need to have 2 keyways either side, 2 actual square protrusions inside for actually locking the butt in place. So there's 2 slots going to here and here, otherwise this butt will just spin around inside the tool holder. That's what's happening. So it's running, it's hammering, but it needs to get onto a hole. This is just spinning. When it pulls it out, then the butt's just staying behind. It's probably not even drilling a hole, because this will just be spinning inside the tool holder. Problem is, this tool holder, it's not the chuck that's gone, it's the actual steel tool holder inside. So that's the tool holder and the hammer pipe. That costs about €100. And for an old machine from 2008, that's clearly had a lot of work. That's just not going to be worth it. These old Hitachi machines were very cheap to buy back in the day, but they were always very expensive to repair. So that one's not going to be worth fixing. Leave that alone. Next up is a DeWalt. And I think we'll just look at the sheets before we switch any of these on. What have we got? DeWalt 240 hasn't done much work. Was used for a while, but has an issue with the clutch. It was opened and then never used. Right. See if we can do anything with this one. Issue with the clutch, so we can't even test it now. what he's done here, we'll assume the motor's okay. He's just rammed this thing back on again. Test this clutch and see. No, that seems tight enough to me. All I'm doing is clamping the actual clutch gear and the vise, getting a set of water pump pliers and holding the chuck, giving them a little twist. You shouldn't be able to just twist this easily. You have to put a fair bit of force to actually get this clutch to ride over the top of the spring to actually get it to slip. This here, you have to put a lot of force on it to get it to slip. So I don't think there's actually anything wrong with that. If it is, it's very slight. Everything else seems okay. A chance putting this back together. Make sure she actually runs first. Well, that's not a good start. Might be more wrong with us than we think. Don't like these types of DeWalt drills. Handles are an absolute torture. Just take everything off. Nothing is ever as simple as you want. What's gone there? Armour just basically new, it hasn't done very much. There we go. Oh, it's the fan and the air deflector. That's the problem. So these are stuck together. See if we can get them separated. There we go. So we probably ran that when it was still opened or not closed correctly. So we've ran that, they've melted, whenever it stopped again then, they've actually solidified and stuck together. So then the actual starting torque then is not enough to actually break it loose. So that does still turn. Hopefully the armature's okay. We might get away with just tidying this up. This man doesn't want to spend an awful lot of money on these, so it's going to be a quick fix. Might be okay. Just in case, we'll take a little skim off this too. If you ever do that, file down the actual back of the fan, take off any damage. Make sure you deburr the whole thing. Okay, I'll go with that. See if that does our job. No rubbing. Tell that's not rubbing now anymore. So that was probably the problem. He opened that up, or it wasn't tightened up to begin with. Now we'll see if she runs. It's a good start. That was actually the original problem there, look. To put this back on, this wee pin to sit in between the spring. There's two legs of the spring and it has to be in the middle. There's one leg. Where's the other? Open it again. This one's becoming a torture. Problem is this is bent. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Straighten it out. That's as much as I can do for now. I don't have another one. That goes on. Back leg sits here, and this top one goes over the top. You need to have this little gap in the middle. So that is where this pin goes into. She's sliding in between the two. So that allows it to move back and forth. Gives a little bit of dampening on the spring as well. So it's not too much stress on this plastic pin. Right. Hopefully this time she's right. Now let's see if we can fit this. drill, hammer drill, and hammer only. And make sure she works. That's her. Now I don't know which of those problems were the original problem, but it's running now on DeWalt D25033 SDS drill with a few things fixed up. The spring here, the fan and air deflector unbound, the clutch was checked, wee bit of grease inside, and that's it. Clutch seems fine, but everything else is now fixed up as well. This man must have just been testing out every single brand of drill. This time we have a Makita one. This one looks a wee bit older. No, I can't see the year. She's a HR2450. This is an older model, but a very good model actually. I think I have the same one myself. Nice wee drill they were. But this one's a brave age anyway. What does the sheet say? Right. Motor sparking when running, and she goes up and down through the speeds, so that's never going to be a good sign. Plus that switch is actually broken there. Right, she's working anyway. A wee bit of a spark out of it, but not much. Speed problem just might be the switch. Brushes are warm, but they're not hot. Yeah, I'd imagine it is the switch. Seeing she is broken. One of the leads is gone. Yeah. He's just wired it in to drilling forward only. Yeah, he's just spliced them wires together. Right, to replace the wire anyway. Probably have to replace that one too. But is it worth doing? Yeah. Brushes are actually worn out. That's probably why she's sparking a little bit. Yeah, we'll give us a chance. We'll replace that broken switch, replace them wires, and that might get this up and running. Right. Keep the cost down for this man, make life easier for me. I'm going to use a second hand switch. Airing these things on can be a torture sometimes. Just have to poke all these little wires out to get them out. These are just pressed in these wires. There's little holes above. You have to push in the hole to release the clamp to pull the wire out. Easily done, but it can be a bit of a torture sometimes. Sometimes it's just easier if you have a whole switch together. Just to replace the whole thing in one go. Since I need these wires anyway. It's just easier to do it this way. As long as you remember where the wires go. So just keep it a bit cheaper for this man. Right, it's a second hand switch and new brushes. Now we just need to put the lead back in again. Now, does she work? Looking good. One old Makita HR 2450 with a second hand switch and a new set of brushes. That gets her up and running again. Could have put in a new switch, but this man just doesn't want to spend a fortune on these things. New switch is going to set you back about 30 or 40 euro, so that keeps that cost down a little bit. Now, there's a real mixture of stuff. Metabo now is next. Metabo. This is an old Metabo and it's not so bad. But Metabo now I generally just don't really like working on them. Not that they're a bad machine. Parts generally become quite expensive, and getting them spare parts is just becoming a real torture. Nobody seems to want to deal with Metabo parts here in Ireland and the UK even. Anyone who does do them simply can't get them. All the suppliers can take weeks if you're lucky. Generally it takes months to get the spare parts on. This one, this is a brave age. This is well old. What is she? An SBE 655 precision drill. This is a brave age. I don't even know if there'll be spare parts available for this thing. Right, not working anyway. What does my cheat sheet say? Try saying that 10 times. Not working, powered armature. If not too expensive, change the chuck. Right. If not too expensive, so he doesn't want to spend an awful lot of money on this one either. I can see why. She is a brave age. But I'd imagine she's a very good machine. Right. I think the armature's gone anyway. She doesn't sound good when she's rotating. I'll just confirm it here before we go any further. Yeah, she's gone. You can tell by the sound whenever you spin the chuck by hand. You hear that sort of clicking sort of sound. You know it's the motor. There you go, right there. Burnt out segment. So that armature is actually gone. Getting that armature will be difficult if it's even available. It's also going to be expensive. And he also wants a new chuck on it. So you're going over €100 straight away just for that. Not worth it, and I don't think he wants to spend that kind of money. So this one is not going to be fixed either. Leave that one alone. Next up is a Makita SDS. This is a bigger one. And it's never good when you see parts tipped onto the side of it. This is the HR2811F. Can't be that old a machine, is it? 2015. Well, it's younger than the rest anyway. Right, are these from the inside, or from the, what are the parts about? Oh, these look like new parts. New parts and old parts. What's going on here? That's the crank. Damaged but not broken. Let's see what the cheat sheet says. Right, clutch has had issues before and was repaired. It's having issues again, so we just sent in the old parts just in case. But it's also now sparking. Right. Sparking could be a problem. A very big problem. Sounds like it was sparking, but now she's cooked and seized. Armature's probably gone anyway, going by the looks of that brush. It's not seized, it's just not turning. It looks to be burnt out. Right, what to do? She is a €300 to €400 machine. So €300 to €400 buys this machine, but the armature for it is only about €60 or €70. So it might be worth fixing this. Question is, what's all wrong with it? Worth putting an armature in, and it wouldn't be too hard to do. But what else is gone? I'm hoping there's nothing actually wrong in the gearbox itself up here in the hammer section. Hopefully that's alright. If this is okay and it's just the armature, it'll be worth putting on. Problem is I don't have one. So this will be an order and in job. We can get her ready anyway. And even if you know it's an armature, you don't want to just go order the part and wait for it to come on before looking at the rest of the machine. Because there could be other things gone that you're just not thinking about. Or things gone that wouldn't normally go. The field being the main one. Which is why I'm wondering, why is this so stiff to come out? There we go. I should still have the other brush on it, that's why. Fan's been rubbing there anyway. she is indeed gone. Probably burnt that segment there. And that one. So that's gone, I would say. I'll just double check. Just in case. Yep. Gone. Right, so armature's gone, needs to be replaced. He's already fixed up this side of it. I'm assuming what he's done is right. Was that clicking? I'm assuming, but maybe it's not. Something's not right there. Right, that's probably why she burnt out. Something gone up on here. Just goes to show, if you ever do change a motor on a machine and you start her up and you're not sure if it sounds right, if you're not basically 100% sure it's right, if there's any doubt at all, you think it's making a strange noise, don't just continue using it. More than likely will be something wrong. You look down on there, a big steel ring at the bottom. It's moving up and down. That is not attached properly. Let's see, he's replaced that striker pin. Yeah. He's replaced that. He's replaced a lot in this, I don't think he really needs to do. Replaced the clutch as well, there's a fair bit of money spent on this. He's replaced that, which is on the very end down here, the striker pin, that's what actually hits your chisel, your SDS butt. So he's replaced that, swapped it, but there's a C-clip that holds it all down inside the tool holder. If that's not installed correctly, it sticks out and it causes interference. This thing here, that should not be loose. The C-clip here, this piece of metal, that's a big C-clip, and that's supposed to be all the way down here. So if that wasn't located, generally when they don't locate like that, they're sticking up too far, plus all this assembly starts rattling around. Things break inside, there's a big O-ring in there that can break as well. The actual C-clip holding it all down, this one here, that's then compromised. If she gets a shoulder on it or smoothed out, it won't actually locate on properly then, so you can't rely on that a second time, you'll have to replace it. Plus because she sticks up, it can sometimes hit the piston. That one seems okay. So if the worst came to the worst, it might just be that C-clip there. But I would say he never washed this out whenever he did fix it the last time, because that's fairly black. So I see that grease needs to be changed too. Right, I don't think it's anything else broke. I think it's just that C-clip here. So I'm going to chance ordering the armature for it. Clean it all out, box it up, put it away, order the parts, wait for them to come on. That'll be for another day. Now, do I even want to look on this? A sander. Skil sander. Brushes and bearings could be gone. Took it apart. There's a worn gear. Right, it doesn't sound great to begin with. Just going to see the backing pad seems alright, but it's actually not. That's fallen apart as well. This is an old machine. Clamps are still good. That bearing's gone. He says there's a worn gear. Go by the inside of there. Something is definitely worn. There we go. That's the gear that's gone. I think he already had that off. Right. Nothing I can do with this. Now, hold on. There we go. Did that get bent? It's been kicked about the place anyway. The screws are all bent. She's actually a Skil 666 H1 240 volt sander from 2000, 24 years old. Now the screws, the front handle, all the bits is here, but that gear is going to be a problem. First of all, to see if this is even available. I don't think I have one of these in stock. Well, that answers that. Not worth fixing. Parts for this are just about gone. Some wee bits left, maybe the base, wee belts, maybe bearings, brushes. The actual armature itself is gone. So this can't be fixed. Forget about that wee Skil. Right, next up on this old lot is a very old Milwaukee collated drywall gun. Now, it's definitely a long time since I've seen one of these. I think I've only ever worked on one of them. Main thing is the head, the plunger. Make sure that works. Watch it does not. See this little wheel here? That actually drives your collated screws forward, so every plunge this goes round, takes up the next screw. Without that, it doesn't auto feed the screws. Plus is badly worn, very, very slack. But if you look at this little wheel, it's not moving at all, so that's not feeding. What did I say? Stopped working but was sparking badly. So there's a motor problem. Sounding like this one might not be worth fixing either. I can smell it. Oof. Stink of it. That's gone. Cooked, burnt out. Needs an armature. And when they're smelling that badly, I would say the feel could be gone as well. That ain't worth fixing. New motor, potentially a new collated head, would be far too expensive. Straight on to the next one. Now, this is one I haven't seen before. a mix and drill. An actual Evolution mix and drill. Evolution what? Evolution twister. What does the sheet say? Oh, nice to get a warning for these ones. She's running, working, just has a switch problem. Don't mind a switch problem like that as long as you know. Worse again if it had the whisk on it and they don't tell you that, which normally they don't. You plug it on the wall and the thing just ticks off on you. Great crack, especially when it catches your friggin' wrist. So it's decent often they actually say there's a problem with the switch and it's locked on. Yeah, there's one of these really annoying ones. Normally there's just one half here, pull off the handle to access the switch. These ones here, you have to take apart the whole handle. Not just the handle, gearbox as well. Oh, these are a torture. But at least you can get parts for these Evolutions. I'm not going to break the bank. They're quite good tools, definitely do the work, and they definitely last. I'll pull the motor out, so just want to disengage the brush. A little bit of damage there. See that segment's blackened. If you put your finger on it and rotate it around, see the exact same pattern on these ones. This thing's just been lying up for a long time. That's where the brushes have been sitting on. Just corroded onto the actual armature comb bar a little bit. Not a big deal. It's not going to do anything. Kind of switches that. Wonder if I would have one. Like the speed control and give yourself some room. Right, she's gone. She's just stuck in the on position. She's only running slow because she's on the low speed here. There's variable speed in this as well. So all I need is a new switch. Surprisingly enough, I actually have one of these on stock. Same brand, exact same switch and everything. A Chili 830. Same spec and everything on it. It's just a straight swap for this one. Nice and simple. Exactly what I like. Screws are badly rusted though. Yeah, they should come out. Well, that one's not budging. And that's not budging. Nice, you can cut them and reconnect it. These other wires aren't actually screwed on. There's just a wee spring clip holding them. Might just tidy up the ends, mind you. Other wires go on here. The other two motor wires, then there's two then for your noise suppressor, which has been removed in this one. There's another hole just down here. See it better on the new one. You press that, it's just a little steel plate. It's sitting at an angle down here. So now if you push on your wire, steel plate sits and holds the wire at an angle. So because it's at an angle, the wire can't come out. To remove it, push down here to lift the steel plate away to pull the wire out. That's just not on that switch, but most switches for any machine will have them wee things, specially corded ones. Get rid of that. I'll rewire this new one on. I'm just going to tidy them up as well. A little bit all over the place. Could just solder these wires as well. Don't have to use these wee crimps or bootless ferrules. It's just when I use them with these here, they leave these little ridges along the top. So whenever you're putting them into these wee spring clips, they actually lock nicely into them. Right, with that in place, we're just going to blow out this handle as well. See if we can get rid of some of this excess dust. Now, you'll not get it all out. As long as you get the loose stuff out, it'll be alright. Everything else should be well stuck in. It's not going to come loose again anyway. You just want to get the excess stuff out, the stuff that's actually blowing around inside. It'll just help the switch to last longer. That should be just about us. Let's just give that a quick wee clean. That should be it. Power on, and she's not running. That's a start. Looks good. Switch is working. Variable speed's going. Not many mixing drills you can buy for under €200. That's going to do the amount of work that wee thing did. Even less that you can actually get the spare parts for, like the switch. Even less again are ones that actually cost less than €200. This wee thing only costs about 150. An Evolution Twister mixing drill. Cheap to buy. It's actually a good quality machine. Can do a fair bit of work, as you can see, and they're repairable. What's not to like? That's why I always like this Evolution stuff. That's her ready. Okay, up next is an old blue Ryobi. That's never a good sound to hear. Something flapping around inside. Plus, just sounds like she's clicking. Could be the armature's gone on it. First, we'll see how she starts, farts or pops. Sparks it is. Let's see, this is an armature. A lot better quality than the modern stuff, but still, it was light duty for even back then. Yeah, armature's gone. See that segment there is darker. And them as well. And they're actually raised up. You can see where they're burnt. So that armature's gone. What was the rattle in it? A nut. Wonder if that had fallen in or come loose from somewhere. Right, either way. Blue Ryobi, obsolete. I have some old stock here on the shelves, so I'll just check that first. As an EID 500 RE. First, just make sure I don't have any in stock. I would say I don't. Right, no, nothing on stock. That actually came as a home motor assembly with the armature and field together. It cost about €70. So even when this was new, it still wouldn't have been worth fixing, to be honest. Not of that kind of money. So that is a no-go. Right, leave that one. Right, next is an old Makita skill saw. I'm not sure how good this one's going to be either. Going by the note. It says it's been laid up a long time and it's sparking heavily. So this one's actually from 1999. It's a very old one. She's a 5903R. This is actually the bigger 9-inch blade Makita circular saw. It's not sounding good anyway. Give her a wee start here and see what she does. And that's not good either. Handle's bust. You hear that at the end, you hear the noise it's actually making. You can hear one of the actual com bars and the armatures raised up. You can hear it filing away at the brushes. So see, this is gone. He's tried a new set of brushes. Yep. She's gone. See, that segment's burnt out. So it's a new armature needed. Well, that's a quick no-no. That armature list price is about €150. And that brush holder is very stiff as well, so I would imagine that brush holder has been burnt too. The brush holder is burnt, the field could be burnt. That's a definite no-no. But for the list price of 150 quid, that's not going to be worth it. Especially for one this old and this used. Broken bits everywhere. Plus the guard's not right, nor the base. There's too many things wrong with this to be putting a motor onto it. So for that, it's just a no-go. And now last up, and by no means least, a Makita recip saw. This is the JR 3050T. It's not too old. I think this one's actually still available. Well, this is still available, yeah. Here is she. Can't see, it could be 2015 or 2005. What's it doing? Oh. That's a fistful of dust. Now she's running. Makita recip saw, not working. Well, that is definitely working. So there's a brush problem maybe. No. Actually, I bet you know what's wrong. They're brand new brushes, look. Yep. Brand new. See the ridges on the bottom? That's the pattern that's on them when they're brand new. So they eventually wear on, become one smooth brush on the com bar. When they're brand new, have these wee rubs. So they have just been put on, and it's never been run. So I bet you it was just a bit of dirt in the brush holder. One of them brushes was not getting down. Burnt the brushes out, and he's put in a new set. But this was probably, yeah, look. This was probably dirty, look. Yeah. There was a bit of cement or debris or something in the brush holder, clogging it. So whenever he put in the brand new set of brushes, they went in, slid down, but didn't make contact with the armature. So we thought the brushes were on, put the caps on, switched her on, did nothing. You'd be assuming something else was wrong, but it was just the brushes. Give it a quick blow with the compressor. Bet you there's nothing else wrong with this thing. Bet you that's all it is. Brush jammed in the holder and it wouldn't run from. He's boxed it up and sent it on. By the time it got here, it's been rattled around that much that the brush spring has eventually, from all the vibrations, eventually pushed the brush down through the debris and it's made contact. That's why it ran when I came on here. I would say that's all that's wrong with it, because this thing is definitely running. Even the blade holder's working. Right, she's running, she's holding the blade, and she's releasing the blade. Nothing wrong with that. I would guess it's just the brushes are sticking. Right folks, that's the lot. That's everything out of those 2 boxes of tools. Some fixed, some not. Nothing too complicated. That's the lot of them. Thanks for watching. Give us a wee like and a follow if you're liking the tool repair videos. If you want, you can hit the notification button as well, or become members to support the channel. Thanks for watching folks. Cheers.